I lost my father. He was a wonderful man, a strong man, and someone I believed would one day walk me down the aisle to my Prince Charming. But God had other plans. Cancer does not discriminate. It does not matter how old you are, how young you are, what you look like, your gender, how many children you have, your religion. Nothing stands in cancer's way. I was a freshman at what is now called the University of North Georgia. I remember how excited I was to finally be in college and away from the little town I grew up in. And I remember how all of that changed when I got the news. The doctors claimed my dad had 2 weeks to live upon his initial diagnosis. 2 weeks? That's not enough time. He had stage 4 colon cancer, and by the time they ended up cutting and burning away several of his unnecessary organs, we found out it had spread to his colon, appendix, bladder, stomach, large intestine, and 2 lymph nodes. I wanted to be a doctor. Specifically, I wanted to be a surgical oncologist. I loved my science classes at North Georgia until my dad became the topic we studied constantly, whether he knew it or not. I wanted a cure. I wanted a way to save my father, even though the doctor said it was too late. I remember driving home every weekend to stay with him because he demanded that I stay in school. Don't leave your dreams of college behind because of me. His voice still rings in my ear today. As time passed, I started noticing things about cancer that I never knew before. Commercials about cancer patients show them weak and feeble and bald, and my dad was 6 feet 3 inches tall and roughly 350 pounds with a full head of hair when he was diagnosed. My understanding of the image of cancer was severely distorted, and I struggled to maintain my grip on reality. What those commercials do not have time to show you is the journey those people went on with cancer. It doesn't show you the exacerbating tears that were shed at every doctor visit and in every hospital room. It doesn't show you the degradation of the patient's body and mind as the chemotherapy enters their body and slowly changes them into a fraction of their former selves. My dad lost his hair. When he died, I could lift him out of the hospital bed myself because he was so small. In the end, my father chose to starve to death because the doctors told him it would be the least painful way for him to go. I believe in a world without cancer, and I believe one day I'll see it. My father lived 3 years after his initial diagnosis. He even got some of his hair back. But on April 19th, 2011, he lost his fight. Losing my dad made me realize that time is not something that I can take for granted. It is something that will continue on with or without us asking it to. And yet there are moments when it feels as if time stands completely still. I believe I went through this journey with my father because I would need to help others in this journey as time passed. Since becoming a teacher, I have held the hands of so many students who are facing the same fate my father did, and whose family is in the same place I was. There was never a self-help book to assist me in my troubles, but I'm finding that sometimes it takes more than a book to learn about life. As angry as I have been at God and at others because of what I faced with my father, I will always cherish what it taught me. I am enough. I can be the rock that others need. I can be the daughter to my mother and the sister to my brother that my father always wanted me to be. I cannot change the past, but I can change my future by altering my present, and there is something very freeing about that.